Up next at 6, school fire. Firefighters struggled to put out a big blaze at a Mississippi elementary school. Plus, heroic delivery, how a mailman saved a toddler's life. And happening today, a chance to beat the heat and enjoy some ice cream with some familiar faces. 16 WAPT News starts now.
The one to watch. This is 16 WAPT News at 6.
Good morning on this Saturday, July 11th. Thanks for waking up with us this morning on 16 WAPT News. We'll get to your overnight headlines in just a second, but first, let's take a live look outside on our Hilton Skycam. Already looking sunny out there. Let's check in with meteorologist Adam McWilliams for weather first.
Good morning, Hadass, and welcome. And yeah, today's going to be a scorcher of a day. Temperatures are going to be in the middle 90s, but those real feel values near 100 degrees. Here's a live look at our Haley Tower Skycam overlooking Pearl this morning. Temperatures already off to a warm start in the middle 70s area wide, and rain chance is going to be very low today. 76 for Jackson, 74 for Greenwood, 75 for Vicksburg, and 76 degrees in Greenville. Taking a look at the satellite and radar picture, we are looking good. Now, we did have a few storms yesterday afternoon and evening that have since died off, but today there could be one or two stray thunderstorms around, but I think most areas will be hot and dry for today. So if you're going to be outside, be sure to drink plenty of fluids and get in some shade when you can, because those temperatures are going to be touching 90 by the noon hour. Those real feels already going to be touching 100 by the noon hour as well. But coming up, is there any heat relief in store, or are we in for a scorcher of a week? We'll find out in the 7-day forecast coming up in a few minutes. Hadass?
Thanks, Adam. Well, after last night's storm, some Jackson neighbors say they are frustrated over flooding problems in their neighborhood. Neighbors on Melwood Drive say it's a storm drain problem that's been going on for a while. They told us the city went out there this week to fix it, but nothing's been done. The city tells us they do plan to address the issue. Well, new overnight, an enormous blaze at Batesville Elementary School. WMC-TV in Memphis reports flames shot high into the air from the school overnight. Fire crews shot water into that building, but the fire continued to burn. At this point, no reports of any injuries. Officials have not said yet what caused the fire or if anyone was inside the building when it started. This is developing this morning. Pearl police are investigating a body found behind a business on Cross Park Drive. They say 3 people found the 61-year-old's body near a walking path they used to get to Walmart. They sent her body to the state crime lab to see if this was health-related or could be related to something else. Stay with us for new developments in this case. The Confederate battle flag in South Carolina is now inside a Civil War museum. Friday, people cheered as they took it down from the state capitol. Thousands of people there and across the country watched the honor guard lower that flag for the last time. But as 16 WAPT's Ross Adams reports, Mississippi is now the only state still on an NCAA tournament ban because of its connection to the Confederate symbol.
Left field corner, and that's trouble.
As of this Friday, Mississippi is the only state in the country banned from hosting college tournaments. That's because after South Carolina removed the Confederate flag from their state capitol grounds, Mississippi became the only state left with the rebel banner flying.
So it really doesn't impact us right now, but we still need to move on and change the flag.
Business leaders say the state could lose untold revenue.
There's already talk the NCAA could expand its ban and prohibit Mississippi schools from hosting major sporting events like super regionals.
If they did amend the bylaw to include NCAA baseball regionals, women's softball regionals, or super regionals, I can promise you the state of Mississippi would vote to change it in a heartbeat.
Football and basketball and baseball, you think that could this be the impetus that finally leads the state to get rid of the flag?
You know, I lived through the 2001 referendum when every coach in the state came out in favor of changing the flag, and every school president, the college board, everybody came out in favor of changing the flag, and it lost 2-1. So I don't know how much has changed in 14 years.
That was Ross Adams reporting. Now this brings us to our Instapoll 16. We are asking, now that South Carolina has taken down the Confederate flag, should Mississippi follow suit? So far, more than 1,500 people have voted, and most of you say no. We want to hear from you. Cast your vote to 601-980-4416. You can also vote on WAPT.com. FBI agents are investigating why a Mississippi cop choked a man driving a horse and carriage. It happened in the small town of Stonewall, that's in Clark County. Jonathan Sanders died Wednesday night after the dispute with an unnamed officer. Family members say the officer stopped Sanders while he was exercising his horse. Our sister station in Meridian reports the officer pulled Sanders off the horse and choked him with a flashlight. Sanders died sometime later.
We can't really give out any particulars to it because it is an ongoing investigation. I can say that we've always had a good relation with the community, and we continue to have that.
Detectives confirmed the officer did use his flashlight to choke the man. Some say the FBI did not do their job in connection to the Charleston church shooting. The FBI now acknowledges Dylan Roof, the accused gunman who walked into that church, was never supposed to have that gun. They say Roof went into a gun store. That store called the FBI for a background check, but the law says the store only has to wait 3 business days for a response from the FBI. And that response never came. The Huffington Post is reporting that a Tupelo newspaper is against gay marriage. The article claims the Daily Journal staff has been told not to print any same-sex marriage announcements. The report states those couples will have to find a different publication to make that announcement. The Northeast Mississippi Daily Journal is the 3rd largest newspaper in the state. Well, happening today, a chance to beat the heat by enjoying some ice cream along with familiar faces from 16 WAPT. You're looking at video right now from last year's ice cream safari over at the Jackson Zoo. We are so excited for this year's event. It goes from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. I will be out there along with Adam and some other members from our 16 WAPT family. We hope that you will join us again starting at 10 a.m. Time now 6:07, and Adam, it's going to be great weather for some ice cream.
That's right. Also, too, it's going to be a day where it's going to be sweating most of the afternoon. It's going to be hot, and take a look at these forecasted real field numbers. Now, this isn't the actual air temperature. This is what it feels like, and you can see we're in the 70s for most of the morning, but as we head towards about 10 o'clock, those real field numbers already jumping up into the 90s, and as we head towards the noon hour, those real field numbers at or above 100 degrees area wide, and we're going to stay in the 100s for those real fields for most of the afternoon. So it's going to be a day where the air conditioner is probably going to run all day long. So if you're going to be outside, be sure to drink plenty of fluid and also find a place of shade pretty often. So here's the forecast for today. 94 is the high temperature. Those real field numbers, like I said, up near 100 degrees. There could be 1 or 2 stray storms in the afternoon. They will be the exception rather than the rule for tonight. A very steamy evening, 74 degrees with a few clouds around. But coming up in the 7-day forecast, we'll find out if there's any heat relief in store.
Thanks, Adam. The U.S. Postal Service is calling a Jackson mailman a hero this morning. They say he saved the life of a 2-year-old in Florence. 16 WAPT's Bert Case spoke with the mailman hero.
Charles Anderson is a postman in Florence. He knows how dangerous this highway can be. He had just gotten off from work when he stopped by the Fred's Dollar Store on U.S. Highway 49.
When I looked in that direction over there, about closer to her mailbox, I realized that there was a little boy following the dog out in the road.
A little boy in front of Anderson racing into traffic. Anderson says he saw a woman in high heels trying to chase after him.
I got out the vehicle and ran towards the boy. And in time, I picked him up and saved him.
Kept him from being hit by traffic on 49.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Great guy, and just thankful that he's as fast as he is because he's a fast runner.
The child was chasing a dog, is that right?
Right. Child was chasing
the dog too, I understand.
The dog. He called the dog, and the dog came out of the highway too. So he did a great deed on both accounts.
I understand you saved the dog too.
I think the dog just walked out. I don't know what happened to the dog. I really don't. I I was focused on the kid.
Florence Police Chief Richard Thomas confirms the incident happened, but would not identify the child or its mother.
What Mr. Anderson did here in front of the Fred's Dollar Store in Florence has earned him a National Hero Award from the U.S. Postal Service. They're waiting for the word on when he will get it right now. For K16 WAPT News, Florence.
Well, Anderson says he is no hero. He was just doing what he was supposed to do. And the city of Jackson is hosting its annual Back to School celebration on July 25th. It will take place from 10 a.m. until noon at the Jackson Convention Center. JPS students in kindergarten through the 8th grade who complete extra reading assignments will have a chance to receive a special backpack filled with school supplies. This year's focus is on family literacy and developing strong reading skills. Missing monkey. Coming up, zookeepers looking for a furry fiend who made a daring escape. Plus, hundreds of thousands of cars under a recall this morning. We'll tell you which models are affected. Time now, 6:10. You're watching 16 WAPT News.